So how is the real estate market? I get asked that all the time. I'm always able to answer the question because of the tracking system I developed 12 years ago. Today, I'm going to share with you my monthly housing market checkup. It takes me a few hours to produce, but I'll be able to share the results in about 10 minutes. Just sit back and soak it in. The pace of this video moves fast, and I cover more than 10 key trends, so I've included timestamps below that will help you go back to any graph that you want to spend more time on. Though today's report uses data from the Tallahassee real estate market, I can tell you that it is highly likely that this will reflect what's going on in the majority of U.S. markets too. I continue reading and hearing from agents around the country about their markets, and from coast to coast, real estate agents are reporting very similar conditions as to what we're facing in the Tallahassee housing market. Remember, the pace of this video will move fast, so you can rewind and spend more time on each graph if you need to. By the end of this video, you'll be better informed about the current real estate market conditions than most real estate professionals. I'm going to start today's report with a look at mortgage interest rates, perhaps the strongest driver of demand in the market today. Buyers see the writing on the walls. Rates are rising, and this is likely the last chance in a very long time to get a low mortgage interest rate loan. For more than 40 years, mortgage interest rates have been generally falling. That means that for the past 50 years, people selling a home and buying another were getting cheaper money on the new home, allowing them to upgrade without a large negative impact on their monthly payments. But interest rates have to rise. The Fed has to deal with rising inflation, and they typically do this by raising the Fed funds rate, which ultimately leads to rising mortgage interest rates. The two tables show what happens when rates rise. On the left, you can see what today's rates will deliver on a monthly mortgage payment. As rates rise, the payments rise. When rates return to their 50-year average, today's payment would be 55% higher. The table on the left shows a more realistic version of the impact on home buyers. As most buyers max out their purchase on a payment they can afford, their buying power will drop from $300,000 today to under $200,000 when mortgage interest rates return to the 50-year average. Home affordability is going to decline sharply with every increase in mortgage interest rates. Remember, home prices are soaring and interest rates are rising and poised to move even higher. That's the double whammy against home affordability. Longtime viewers of our channel know that I've mentioned a historic change in mortgage interest rates leading to a decline in home affordability before. And by the way, if you're not a subscriber, please consider clicking the thumbs up like button and subscribing now so that you get all the content when it is fresh. One graph we monitor each month is the distressed property listings. It is a good indicator of problems or lack of problems in the housing market. This graph shows arm's length listings in green and distressed listings in red. Contrary to what the gurus called for 2 years ago, distressed properties have gone nearly extinct. Why? Because there is equity in the housing market. People who get behind on their payments can avoid foreclosure by selling their homes, paying off the debt, and pocketing some equity. That's a far different scenario than people faced from 2008 through 2012 when there was negative equity in the housing market. So what's it like being a home buyer today? This next graph makes it clear that home buying experience is difficult due to the lack of supply. The graph plots all the active listings in Tallahassee for the past 10+ years. Homes for sale that are available are plotted in red, while homes for sale already under contract with buyers are shown in blue. Look how the graph has completely flip-flopped from the left side, where most listings were available, to the right side, where the majority are already under contract with buyers. The ratio of homes under contract is shown in green, while the dashed green line plots the one-year trend of this ratio. Over the past 12 months, 72% of the homes listed for sale in Tallahassee were already under contract when buyers entered the market. This graph provides a clear picture of why there are bidding wars for new listings when they hit the market. This graph shows the percentage of home listings that are sold each month, with the historical norm being those that are falling within the red field shown as the normal sold percentage range. When the yellow dots fall below the red field, as we saw from 2008 through 2015, there were more sellers than buyers, and buying opportunities were bountiful. But when the yellow dots rose above the red field in 2017, the market shifted to a seller's market with too few listings to satisfy demand. For the past year, we've seen 30% to 40% of the listings sell each month, making it very difficult for buyers to get a home they like. I also pay attention to where people are moving in and around Tallahassee. There are some movement trends developing that are shown in the next two graphs. With listing prices soaring and inventory availability declining, the super popular northeast quadrant of Tallahassee is losing market share to the northwest quadrant. When we look at a similar graph segmenting Tallahassee by cardinal directions, we can tell the major movement trends occurring lately. The homes on the north side of Tallahassee represent about 80% of all sales, with declines in the east, gains in the west, and stability on the south side of town. If we could only examine one graph to understand current housing market conditions, it would be this one. This graph plots the total number of listings in red against the total number of sales in green in order to determine the relative supply of homes for sale. That's the months of supply shown in blue. The gray line plots the one-year average relative supply, and the gold field shows where it needs to be for the market to be balanced. Currently, there's just 2 months of supply of homes for sale, making this the strongest seller's market on record. Compare that with the strongest buyer's market on record back in 2009, when there were 15 months of supply. Similar to the previous graph, this one plots the same metrics for the high end of the housing market, starting with all homes priced above $800,000. In 2016, there were 26 months of supply of luxury homes in Tallahassee. Low mortgage interest rates have saved luxury homeowners, and now we see the one-year trend of the relative supply has reached market equilibrium. Observe the gray line within the gold field. So long as mortgage interest rates stay low, we'll continue to see the top end of the market excelling. The next four graphs drill down to the four quadrants of the Tallahassee real estate market to show market performance at each price range. For each of the next four graphs, we plot the average number of listings over the previous 12 months with red bars and the average number of homes sold with green bars. The resulting relative supply of homes is shown in blue, measured in months of supply on the right vertical axis. The blue line in this graph reveals a seller's market in northeast Tallahassee up to $850,000, though the relatively few sales that occur above that point cause fluctuations in this graph after that point. Northwest Tallahassee does not produce as many home sales as does the northeast, so we see a lot of noise after the $500,000 price point. Homes priced below $250,000 in northwest Tallahassee are in a seller's market, while those below $300,000 are fairly balanced. Homes above $300,000 remain in a buyer's market, though the relatively few sales cause a good bit of fluctuation at prices above $350,000. With yet even fewer sales than northwest Tallahassee, southeast Tallahassee shows great stability for home sellers. Homes priced below $900,000 in southeast Tallahassee are enjoying seller's market conditions, but there have been no sales above $950,000 over the past year. Finally, southwest Tallahassee has the fewest sales of all four quadrants and therefore returns the most chaotic graph, but it also has shown great improvement over the past 10 years. Homes priced below $350,000 in southwest Tallahassee are enjoying a seller's market, while those above $350,000 remain mired in a buyer's market. This table provides the relative months of supply of homes for sale from each of the four previous graphs in one convenient table. A measure near 6 months of supply represents a balanced market, while a measure below that signifies a seller's market, and above that is a buyer's market. I have color-coded the table with red for seller's market conditions, white for balanced market conditions, and gold for buyer's market conditions. The far right column shows that the market below $950,000 is in a seller's market, and homes priced below $450,000 are in a very strong seller's market. Homes priced above $950,000 remain in a buyer's market. The very bottom of the table shows that each quadrant reported a decline in the relative supply of homes last month. This is very unfortunate, as we need more inventory to be built in order to regain some level of health in the Tallahassee housing market. This table provides the total number of homes for sale right now by area and price range. Currently, there are only 856 homes for sale in all of Leon County, Florida. To give you some perspective on that number, it's less than one-half the listings available at the same time in 2015. The final table in our report shows the average number of homes sold each month by area and price range. This is very useful information when used in conjunction with the previous table. If you plan to buy or sell a home in the near future, just look at the area and price range that interests you, and you'll get a feel for just how competitive it will be. For example, over the past year, we've seen an average of 1 home sold each month in Northwest Tallahassee that is priced from $450,000 to $500,000, while at the same time there have been on average 3 listed for sale. That's not a lot of homes for you to consider. There are many other factors that one must consider to have a thorough understanding of today's housing market conditions, but the graphs that I selected for this report provide an excellent snapshot of what has occurred thus far and what you'll find in the market today. If you want to keep up to date with the moves and changes in housing, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel so that you get our newest reports when they are fresh. They take very little time to consume, yet they'll leave you well ahead of the field in market knowledge. If you want to see more videos about current U.S. housing market conditions, I've assembled a great playlist that you can view by clicking on the box on the top left corner of your screen. To see a popular video featuring my top 6 home selling tips, just click on the box below it. Please remember to like this video, check out the links below it, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything.